Yo, it's here. Burgers and Blitzes. Me and my dog,
Building.
although my dog's internet went, we're in the building. We're going to talk about a lot of things today, but before we do any of that, let me give my introductions to everybody first. In the building, Rev Revel, appreciate you. Rev Revel, Miguel. You else is in there? James Sims Jamal, Lee Norman, Desmond Ironman, Mike White. Oh, that's you. Marcus Tavis, my dog. Michael Lockhart, what's good with you? Rev Revel with the $2 holler, what's good with you? Keep on coming in the building. You know what it
Coming
is. It's
strong.
Burgers and
Coming strong.
Blitzes. You feel me? My man got him a new spot. He feeling good. You feel me? We ain't feeling good, but he's feeling good, and I'm happy. But shout out to my dog Rev Revel. Let me give him a shout out for the $2 holler. Pair character turning around, waving his hand, saying, "Hey," while lowering his glasses. We definitely appreciate that. Appreciate for the $2 holler. But first of all, before we jump into football, how you doing, man?
I am doing fantastic, my friend. How are you doing, man? How you doing?
Hey, I'm like I said, I'm doing good. It's another day
I
alive.
got my forefathers drip on with the rattlesnake and the Dallas ball, some oil rigs, windmills, little tractor. Yeah, we good, man. We good.
Yeah, I love it. And so also I just want to let y'all know you see the cash apps at the bottom if you'd like to donate. My B-day is coming up on the 15th. That is a selfish plug. I'm sorry, but I am gonna say it. Also, I got my two ladies upstairs. Their birthdays. We're all Libra babies up in here. We got Kenzie on the 7th, and we got Aaliyah on the 11th, and they got me on the 15th. So we got Libra gang all up in here. So if you'd like to donate, there it is right there to show you. But
Help me pay for this house I'm sitting in.
what's up, Etta? How you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you. What's up? Good. What's up? What's up? What's up? Everybody keep on coming in here. Now, let's talk about a few things right quick. Obviously, we're not going to stay too long on that game against Arizona, but I've talked to other people and I haven't got to talk to you. So,
hmm
without going seriously in depth about it, just kind of what was your thoughts about the game? First of let's talk about the injury because we were talking about injuries before the game happened. We what did we say? What did we say? What did we say? And I almost feel like we don't want to say it because didn't we say we didn't want to say it because stuff happens, right? But we
hmm
said the only thing we care about is getting out of this game, no injuries, make sure no
Couldn't even
injuries.
couldn't even get to the game.
Couldn't even get to the game, and you lost Trevin Diggs. Kind of what's your first thoughts about that? And then we'll just give you a quick thoughts about the game.
Sucks, man. It sucks. What else can you say about it? I hate. I absolutely hate games like last week because win or lose, there's no good outcome. There's no good outcome. All you want to do is get out of there healthy. Obviously, you want to win. Obviously, you want to win, but win or lose, oh, y'all went in there and beat up on Josh Dobbs and them. Y'all a bunch of bullies. What y'all play a real team? This, that, and the other. Then if we go out there and get smoked, oh, y'all got smoked by Josh Dobbs. It's like fighting. It's like fighting a special needs kid or something. I don't. It's just it's a lose lose situation, and we can't even get to the game before we lose an all pro player. He was having the best year of his career. We were just talking about him crashing in on the run fits, and they go out there and they're running one on ones on the Thursday before a game. What are we doing? Like, what kind of 1986 2A high school football nonsense were they doing out there? Well, he stepped on somebody's foot. It could have happened to anybody. Why were y'all running one on ones in the first place? There should be walkthroughs. They ain't going to forget how to play football. They don't need to go compete. We're already tired. It's a long enough season. We got an early bye. There's 11 straight games after the bye. Why are we running these dudes out there like that? It was completely avoidable situation, and I'm upset about that part. I'm more upset about that than I am obviously the game or anything else. Because the one thing I've always talked about on here is how Mike McCarthy's really good 6 days a week. I do not believe he was good 6 days. I think he had a bad week, and it cost us. It cost us a player, potentially three players, and it cost us the game because they were not prepared. They were not. It's like they didn't know what Josh Dobbs did, and Dan Quinn's guilty as hell too. I know. And then what happens is we get on to the power. This defense. We talk about it, man. They're front runners. They're front runners. They get a little bit of adversity. They start getting teary eyed, like they got bopped in the nose, and they stop. They stop thinking, and They just start playing their own game. And next thing you know, it's about as well be 1 versus 11 out there, and we saw it. You're over penetrating. You're running right by dudes. You're not holding contain. You're not doing anything properly as far as fundamental football goes. Jaron Curse is escorting Dobbs down the sideline. It's just they just completely fell apart, and that's what happens when you're not prepared. You didn't have a good game plan going in, or you would have been expecting this. And then, even if you did have a good game plan, your defense fell apart and you couldn't reel them back in. And your offense, we'll get to this because we're going to get to this, is, living or dying on third down, like I've been talking about the previous 2 weeks. And you had a bad day on third down, which was still a really, 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 really good day as far as quarterback in the NFL goes. It was a really good day on third down, and you still went home because he wasn't perfect. And all we get to hear about is the pick. When it wasn't the blown covers before that, they gave them a 2-possession score with 6 minutes left. And then Mike McCarthy goes out there and runs the ball 8 straight times and bleeds 4 minutes off the clock. What do we like? That's what I talked about when you switch the OCs, I talked about him getting behind the clock when he had no game day responsibilities. And then he goes out there and he's supposed to be calling the offense. And it's like he completely forgot that they weren't playing with a 2-possession lead. He was running that possession like they had a 2-possession lead. And it was the opposite way. What were we doing, man? There was complete, on all fronts, basically everything but special teams was complete coaching malpractice. That's my thoughts on the game.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with a lot of your thoughts. Just kind of, the thing I heard you say that I was frustrated with was when you were talking about how they got frustrated after we got smacked in the mouth a little bit, and then we lose focus on staying fundamentally sound and playing fundamentally sound football. The hero ball starts coming out. And that's what we noticed last year.
It was like 11 Robert Quinns out there sack hunting.
Yeah, everybody's trying to get the big play. Knowing that you already see might be this type of game. So you're going to have to discipline yourselves in this type of game because it's going to be this type of game. You can't play hero ball in this game because you're going to get exposed, because that's what they're waiting for. And you could kind of see it because they game planned us offensively and defensively is perfect, because they knew kind of what was going on here. But, we've been talking about this linebacker play for a little bit now, and you've been speaking on it with Damone Clark. But I'm going to talk about LVE. We know he's a coverage linebacker, but there's a big issue with these linebackers, dog, especially in this game. Now, go ahead.
As sad as it is to say, and this is not me, I've always called LVE what he is. When he sucked, he sucked. When he was healthy and he played good, I gave him his props. LVE, at least in the first half, was one of your few defenders that actually showed up to play that day. He was he made several plays. He was in the backfield, and several of those tackles that got contained was because he was in the backfield playing behind the line of scrimmage, which is something he doesn't do. Now, the rest of the game, they got their socks blown off. I'm not trying to say that anybody on the defense had a good day, because they didn't. Micah Parsons especially had a bad day. But if we're going to, I feel like singling him out, he's probably not even fifth on my list of names that I would get to when I was singling people out. But yeah, the line. What are we doing at linebacker? I mean, where was Bell? Like, what's going on? What's going on with this situation? It's frustrating. They just weren't. I don't know. It's like they expected to face Zach Mettenberger or something. They didn't expect to face some backup mobile quarterback, and that it's clear since last March. That's what you were. Not even March. Hell, when Kyler got hurt, you were going to be facing a backup quarterback this game. As soon as the schedule dropped, you knew what quarterback is going to be. It's going to be a backup. Okay, who is it? Josh Dobbs. Okay, what can he do? Well, he can't really throw the ball that well, but he can move around. He can really hurt us if we let him move around, and they let him move around. And that's on LVE. That's on not Diggs. That's on dude. Curse might have had his worst day as a Cowboy. That was absolutely abysmal. He's my number one
Donovan
suspect.
Wilson didn't play the greatest either.
No, at least he made a play in the backfield. Jaron Curse escorted Josh Dobbs down the sideline 35 yards like they was having a conversation with like they were going to get for dinner later. It was infuriating.
Curse looked slow.
Dude, he looked like he'd been sitting on the toilet for 6 hours. The whole defense
slow. Yeah,
and
the whole
people were like,
defense
"Oh,
did. But here's the thing, though. I hear what you're saying about LVE, but to me, it's an ugly rear head because there was a few plays, especially that one breakout where
mhm,
James Conner broke out and
absolutely,"
he was right there for the tackle. And I
and
see
got
this
got swallowed up. Yeah,
and I see this happen with him a little too much where he waits a little bit, he hesitates a little bit, and then when he does come in that hole, he doesn't come with that he doesn't come downhill. Kind of like he tackles from the side, the way I'm seeing Damone Clark doing. They're not meeting these guys head on in the hole. Now, when everything is good, it's good. But when these teams start hitting us and start smacking us in the mouth, I see the physicality start going away, and then we're side tackling, and that's what I seen in this game. And teams are going to copycat that, and I want to know how you're going to rectify that, especially if you continue to see that happening going forward. Do you look at and say, well, we keep LVE and those guys in there because LVE is our guy. We love LVE. You feel me?
you don't
Does
have
Harper
anybody else.
do you don't give a Harper a chance? You don't look at him
I
because
would.
he was
Didn't they?
around the ball.
Yes, yes. I mean, he was one of the like 19 people that got flagged for offsides that game, so he was there. Um, I get what you're saying. Like, try it. I'm not here championing
I'm saying,
LV.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
I feel you. I'm saying just throw in some small packages because here's the thing, what I'm saying. I love Bell when he's in there, but they're going to expose his size. Okay, they're going to expose it. Teams are going to try to run at that and try to use that size. Now, I'm sure Dan Quinn can counteract that, but here's the issue: what we had talked about. You brought Donovan Wilson back. He's your guy, right? Wanye Thomas got no snaps. Marquise Bell got 9. The problem is Donovan Wilson didn't play the greatest, and it looked like he was kind of that was like a ramp. We got to get him acclimated game, and then
you know
Kurt's
that's
not playing as well. What do you think they should do about that? Because going forward, Wanye Thomas and Marquise Bell need to play.
I I got to be careful here because Dono's got a lot of stands online, but the dude shatters himself. He's always hurt. He's always been hurt, guy. He finally had a healthy season. They put him out there. The calf injury was so serious that you know he's been out how long? And you put him out there versus a mobile quarterback because his name or pedigree. I thought, not to quote the late great Tony Romo, I thought football was a meritocracy. And if we're going off meritocracy, I'm not shuffling my deck when these dudes are playing the way they're playing. If you want to, I'll activate him. I'll activate him. Sure, you can say you can be on the 53. We'll kick somebody. We'll kick one of these tight ends off or whatever the case may be. But who our starters were is who I'm rolling in this game with because they have been playing well. And Wanye Thomas is hungry. I with and you got LV out there. One thing back to the LV thing. 1 second,
Hmm?
he would have had a blocked field goal had his legs not getting taken out by his own man. That dude completely light the line of scrimmage. I got video of it and everything. It never hit the scoreboard. He was one of the few people who actually showed up to play that day, and he still got his ass whipped. They all did. I'm not saying nobody had a good day, particularly Mr. Lawrence, Mr. Runstopper.com, who hasn't shed an edge the entire day of his life, dude. That dude
But he,
will
but he,
refuses to set the edge. He
but
refuses to.
But here's the thing: you're looking at Dan Quinn. I thought he held the edge more, but I thought he maybe they were getting killed on the edges. So yes, we understand that. But I still feel like your linebackers got to play better in this aspect because they're going to exploit it on the offensive side with that Patriots front. Now, because that second level, these guys got to be come up there and meet the plays. That's all I'm saying with that. Now, as far as Dan Quinn with Michael Parsons, this is just my thoughts. I want to get your thoughts. Okay, they moved him around. They were putting him inside. They're like people are like run at him, run at him. He made a few plays against the Jets, and all of a sudden we were feeling good. And I still say you keep him on the edge and move him around. I don't like Dan Quinn from me. Dan Quinn's the coach, but you putting him in that middle at a 3-point stand or the 2-point stance, playing like a three tech. I don't like that. I think it loses his effectiveness. It played right into the Cardinals' hands, in my opinion, and they should have continued to move him around, come off the edges, things of that nature. But they kept putting him on the ground,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't like that. And I hope going forward that that's not a situation that keeps going because
It's frustrating.
I didn't like that at all.
And it's once again Micah Parsons in space. It's not the Micah Parsons you want. You don't want him in space. Once again, for all the people that drugged me when I hated the pick, they drafted him to be an off the ball linebacker. Now, since injuries happen and all that stuff his rookie year, he's obviously one of the best edge rushers in the league. Why? And he spent the entire offseason and last offseason remaking his body, adding weight, building the skill set, doing the boxing like we've talked about, all this stuff. And you're going to go make him two gap? What? With no help, no. And what? By the way, you just spent a first round draft pick on a defensive tackle. And by the way, the Cardinals, all their successful runs were to the outside. They didn't have any successful runs to the inside. You know why? Because Mr. Mazzy Smith, the guy everybody hates that doesn't show up on the box score, was doing his damn job. He was one of the few people there doing his damn job all game. All their successful runs were to the outside, every single one of them. And you were moving Parsons in for what? When they're just getting bullied? They were getting trapped. Dude, the outside guys, I watched our safeties get trapped by slot receivers and stuff. They were just playing right into the Cardinal scheme. They were like, oh, you want me to? It's almost like you were playing chess with two people, like one person. You got to move the pieces. It's like, okay, I'm gonna take you here, I'm gonna take you out. They just nothing they did on Sunday made sense, and everybody across the board, outside of maybe your two DTs, got their at the end of the day, got their ass whipped, and it sucks.
Yeah, see, this is the play that we was talking about yesterday. This is the
Mm-hmm.
play that when these guys were crashing down, this is the play that we highlighted with these backers. And I'm going to show some other plays. Forgive me if it acts weird, but this is a play right here. What I was talking about, they got the edges, but right here, when you see this play right here, this is a play where both of
I
these
see two
guys,
holds.
you might see a hold, but right here, that's not a hold. He don't get a hold of
Now,
him. He's got to come down and make this play because he comes
matter of
up
fact,
in black.
I see three holds.
Because right
Dono's
there,
getting held, Parsons
right.
getting held, and Digi's getting held.
But LVE right here, he's getting
No,
held. He's
yeah,
getting held right here. But LVE,
he got held. He got held by his own like a fucking move right there.
you didn't want to
That's a
come.
bad.
You didn't want
No,
to come down here and make that play. That's what I'm
no.
talking about, Mike. I've seen that too many times with him. You know, you got to make that
What
play. You got to
for
be
sure?
physical right there.
Yeah,
You feel me?
the chat thinks I'm caping for LVE. Like I was just saying, he was one of the few people who actually made a couple decent plays during that game. Everybody across the board sucked besides your two DTs. Like, stop. I'm not an LVE fan. I'm not trying to pretend he had a good game.
No, he
That
trusts me. He's not an LVE fan because he used to
no,
kill
I'm
him.
not.
I used to try to be like, come on, dog, he ain't that bad, is he? You feel me?
No.
He's not that bad. But this is the
I
play
mean,
where we talked about with Curse right here. I'm gonna show this one. This is the play where you're talking about with Curse, but also just on these linebackers, just on this play right here. If you can see it come up, watch this right here.
that's dope, man. You let these little cut up overlays are dope as hell.
Now watch right here. First of all, Sam Williams comes a little bit farther out, too hard on that edge,
I
but
don't know why he was lined up in Topeka, Kansas for some reason.
man,
That was
he was like a wide 9, and it just opened the hole right here. But watch Curse right here. See, they had this play diagnosed because I don't even know why Dorrance Armstrong is sitting right there and LVE is on the opposite side. But right here, you get Marquise Bell picked off. But this is what I was talking about. You was talking about he ran with them. You took a whole bad angle. LVE is way over here.
yeah.
This
The
hole is
play
just
the play I'm talking about was the Josh Dobbs had like a 25-30 yard scramble on third down up the left sideline. I can't
right. Oh
remember the
yeah, yeah. That
timestamp.
was like I
Yeah,
think that was like the first play.
and Curse is just like, which way you want to go, good sir? What are you going? What are you eating for dinner? They were just having a conversation, and then he decided, maybe I'll push him out. You know
Yeah,
who also had a really bad game was damn Stephon Gilmore got his ass picked on.
yeah,
They were doing backflips off his face, dude.
yeah. They
That was
definitely.
bad.
And this is the play that killed us as well. This is a miss. I don't know what's going on right here.
That
When
was
we talk,
is that the backbreaker right there? The blown coverage?
this was the blown coverage right here, and this is what pissed me off because I'm trying to figure out because like you said, they went after Gilmore. You feel me? But right here, I'm trying to understand who's is this playing, because it looked like Jordan Lewis was playing it just, and it said on the dialogue as well. It looked like he was trying to play zone while Gilmore follows trails with him like he's playing man. Jordan
Yeah.
Lewis doesn't have anybody to guard when he's sitting down
Pause.
right here, right there,
Go right before the snap. Back that up about
right there.
what is this? What is that?
You got a
What
single
what
high
do we?
safety. That's a cover
Yeah, I
one. You
know,
got a single high.
but your guys in motion.
Nobody's moving. Who's
So
pick? You gonna pick him up with Bland?
so my thing, if nobody's moving, that's telling you they're playing a zone. But
Yeah,
Gilmore is playing man. So
Gilmore ain't
that,
gonna trail him because that's Gilmore's guy. He's out there. He's playing left corner.
and he
Click it.
trails him though.
Yeah.
Watch.
Oh
He trails him. He trails him because that was the play. He trailed him over here.
No, I'm
Jordan
talking
Lewis.
about the man in motion.
Oh
Nobody.
yeah,
So
he doesn't
yeah,
trail him. So when he's not trailing him, you're gonna be playing a zone. So Jordan Lewis doesn't move, but he's sitting there in his zone. The man
hmm
comes straight out of here. Gilmore is going
hmm
with his man. Busted
yeah.
coverage. Because Jordan Lewis is sitting here guarding nobody because you got LVE dropping down with the tight end. You got the receiver
So
wide open.
your single high
You're
blew
still
it.
got
You already had shadowed. You already got shadowed. Your single high blew it. Bingo back. That right there was the game. It wasn't.
everybody wants to talk about the Dak pick, which was terrible. It was a bad pass. I'm not going to pretend it wasn't, but that's what happens when I've talked about this ad nauseum. When you put your quarterback behind the sticks on third down, I talked about it, and it happened in the San Francisco in the playoff game. You consistently put your quarterback behind the sticks, and bad things happen. It's just the way it goes. But that right there was the backbreaker. That was game. That was sing us home, Sweet Caroline, whatever the hell you want to do. That was so bad.
so now we
And
talked
that
a little. I go ahead.
yeah, no, you're good.
We beat that game to death, man. I'm sure you've talked about it
Yeah.
for 8 hours already. We're not here to beat that game to death.
We'll touch on it a little bit. If there's something we need to circle back to, you want to jump forward to the hoodie.
Yeah, let's chop. Let's chop. I got them up right now. So I got the lineups right now. So we got the injury report, and we just see what I think the injury report came out. Two people, DeMarcus Lawrence, they says was added, but Tyler Biadasz, I believe Zach Martin are working on the cords. I don't know what's going on with Tyron Smith. Did you hear anything about Tyron Smith? Do you know what's even went on with that?
I don't
Where
know. I
he
don't
was
know
a
why he
healthy
was.
scratch
I don't know
because
why
he
he
looked
was suited
mad.
up, dude. He looked like he was about to throw up on himself on the sideline. He
Really?
was.
I've never seen somebody so disgusted on the sideline. And I don't know why he was dressed up. It was like he was wearing a uniform, like the weirdos that wear a uniform to a MLB game. Like, why are you in full pads and suited up and stuff if you ain't gonna play?
Right. So
I
what do you know anything about that?
I know how do I phrase this without okay. It's just between us.
Mhm.
They were
No.
gonna rest guys. They were gonna rest guys, and they didn't expect. They thought this defense had it figured out. They thought, they could squeeze through this one and kind of survive the game. And if it came down to it and they needed him, if it got tight, here we go. But they were going to rest guys because now we're going to New England, San Francisco, that type situation. So this was
Chargers.
yeah, charge. So, yeah, so on and so forth, right? Um,
So basically,
Hippo laws.
they thought that they could get away with this in this game. They underestimated the Cardinals. They thought they could get away with
And
this,
you
and
got your
so
shit smacked. It happens. It happens every weekend. Hell, even the teams that aren't, allegedly arresting guys, allegedly, Hippo laws, allegedly, that are arresting guys who are healthy, um, quote unquote healthy, to save them for the long run of the season. They thought they could squeak by this one, and it bit them in the ass. If you think you're going to squeak by something, you think you would prepare a little more versus running one on ones on Thursday. That's that's where I keep going back to on that deal. And now I'm worried. I was worried about this Sunday's game when it came on the schedule. I don't care about the roster or anything. I just know that Bill Belichick
is without a doubt, unquestionable, a better coach than Mike McCarthy. Run circles around him. Run absolute circles around him. And we've seen Bill Belichick when Dak played Tom Brady in that damn monsoon, where he was up on the special teams tip, and the special teams won that game because he knew that's the one advantage he had in that weather, and they came out there and they essentially whipped our ass with nothing but special teams play because neither quarterback did a damn thing that game.
Well, we did get him in 2021 now up in New England.
I understand that. I understand that.
Mhm.
But you see what I'm saying
Yeah,
there.
yeah, I know
And
it. I totally understand what you're saying because I said
and
the
if you're
chess
you're
game to
banking on
me. Hold on, the chess game to me would be what you just said. Mike McCarthy, the offense against Belichick, that defense, because he's going to come at you with all kind of looks. He's got a whole week to prepare. He's got a whole week to see this. It's a copycat league. He's definitely going to look at what Arizona did, and he's already going to have his own thing because he's a preparer. He prepares like no other. Let me give a shout out to Queen right here for the $20 holla. Hey ho,
and by the
Queen
way,
says, "See what the
the
I said, big. I knew it."
yeah,
She said,
if you want to see something interesting, 'cause I was parsing around a little bit today on my lunch break. If anybody has a 22, has access to it, the go watch what Bill Belichick ran versus the Dolphins that stifled their ass up, who has twice the speed that we do with half the arm talent, but they still have twice the speed. That man ran three high safeties, like 30% of the defensive snaps. He was ready, and they took the Dolphins to the mat, man. They didn't get a damn. They didn't get Sean Payton. He was
mm-hmm.
ready for that ass.
Yeah.
That dude knows what you're going to try to do, and we talked about it for hell years and years and years. Not on there, but online. Like think about it when they Bill Belichick versus the prime Peyton Manning. Colts. They're going to double Reggie. They're going to double Reggie Wayne, but they're going to do it with their number two cornerback and a safety, and they're going to bracket him. They're going to put their number one cornerback on your number two over here with Marvin Harrison or either one, whichever one's hitting at that time. And we're going to take what do you do best? I am going to make life difficult for you on that. And
Mm-hmm.
if you can beat me with your plan B, be my guest.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting because this is an interesting game now that you lost that Cardinals game. A lot of pressure on this game.
For sure.
Ezekiel Elliott will
Hey,
be back. Obviously, just all of that. I definitely feel like he's going to highlight him in this game. He had 15 carries for 80 yards last game. Not
hey,
saying
if they want to run between the tackles all day, let them have it, man. We got Mazzy and Hankins sitting there. Let them run between the tackles all day. You ain't getting shit between the tackles. I'll put that right now. I'll put 20 on that right now. Zeke will not have 65 yards in this game.
65 yards. You heard it. Put it. You gonna give it to me?
if, if that's what you believe, because I'm
No,
right.
I ain't tripping on Zeke, but I don't know. He might
It
get a
ain't.
little
They
bit.
keep. Well, that's the thing. They keep talking about. Oh, Zeke. He signed Will Greer. Zeke. And Zeke are going to give them the secrets. Man, we've been running the same offense since 1995. There ain't no damn secrets. You know what we're going to do? We're going to run it on first down. We're going to maybe pass on second down, and then we're going to have the quarterback bail us out on third down. It's the same offense, and that's people keep saying I reach for confirmation bias. Well, show me what's different. The only thing I see different between this offense and Kellen Moore's offense is regression. That's all I see. I talked about it while we were 2-0, and everybody's like, "Oh, it's because we had the lead. It's because we had the lead." And then we go out there and we're down 2 possessions with 7 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and Mike McCarthy wants to run 8 straight run plays.
Yeah, but he did say I didn't. Now, do you think that's a pattern? You think that's going
I
to be a
mean, I
pattern?
know that he said we're gonna run the ball.
He did
Dallas Cowboys.
say
We're
he
we're,
did
we're gonna run the ball.
right, but he did say I messed up on that. Who's eating that?
I mean,
Yeah, right. She ain't giving that to you.
fix it.
Let me too. Oh no, my bad.
Yeah, you're good, Bubba. No, I'm just saying, like, fix it, because all I see is the same early down runs and the same early down run in late down passes that I've seen for the last 2.5 decades.
Yeah, I was watching that game and all I thought was you. When I saw them first and second down runs, all I thought was you. I was like, oh, here he goes, saying that they running on first and second down. I mean, we were successful running the ball against them. I can't say that. And we moved the ball up and down the field on them guys. We really did. So it's not like, we struggled. It wasn't we were getting 3 and outs all the time. So I mean, we moved the
All right,
ball.
on to the red zone. Everybody, I know that's big, hot to do. On to the red zone. So this ties back into the calls coming inside the house type situation, with the way the Jones boys want to see. Before Dak Prescott broke his leg, he was literally the most efficient red zone rushing weapon in the history of the NFL. Had like 27 touchdowns on like 70. I'm locked out of my old Twitter account, so I can't freaking pull the numbers. But before he hurt his leg and Josh Allen took that mantle over, he was the most efficient red zone weapon in NFL history. Then you get all these comments from, "Oh, we don't like Dak running like that," and you can't be risking your quarterback. And at the end of the day, you got $50 million out there, and he's got to stay upright. You're not running him. You're doing a quarterback sneak. Why are we looking like the Phillip Rivers era Chargers in the red zone, where we're refusing? We have a quarterback who's built like a bull elk. You have Hunter Lukey, who has been clearing some bitches out. All my dude knows is to go out there and play football. All he knows is to go out there and play football.
He had a nice 9-yard run, a nice 12-yard
Dude,
catch, and they're
that
not using him. Also, Deuce Vaughn. Why aren't you using the Deuce Vaughn in that red
and
zone?
we kept hearing back to McCarthy. We keep hearing about Kuhn. Luke P. Kuhn. He always had a fullback. Well, why is he getting? Why aren't we hearing the Kuhn? The Lukey type stuff that they used to do with him. Where is this? I keep hearing about Isaiah Stanback was on the Freak literally earlier today, and yesterday. He goes, "Oh, Mike McCarthy still has a playbook. Pages in his playbook he hasn't cracked into." Well, when it was obvious halfway through the second quarter in last week's game that your defense wasn't going to carry you today, don't you think you ought to dust off them plays? But all you did was the same old nonsense. So why can't we get Dak moving in the red zone? Period. Why can't he do a 2-yard sneak? Why can't, if you're on second, you're on first and goal on the 6, why can't you hit 2 QB sneaks? Maybe you get 3-4 yards, and then you send your fullback right up the middle. We don't miss Zeke. Zeke had all 12 of his red zone touchdowns last year.
We don't miss no red zone. I already named them. He had 12 red zone touchdowns and 7
and they
of
were
them
all inside the 5.
Well, no, not all of them, because I got the numbers. All the numbers. Trust me, I got the numbers.
7 inside the 5. He hasn't had a touchdown outside the red zone.
He had 7. He had 12 touchdowns. He had 7 1-yard TDs. He had a 14-yard TD. He had a 10-yard TD. He had a 6-yard TD and a 4-yard TD, and all the rest of them went 1 yards. Nobody is missing Ezekiel Elliott in the red zone.
No.
You're just not using the personnel that you have afforded to you to make you more dynamic in the red zone. And we had opportunities. There was a few passes that got away. With one pass that should have been the pass interference, but that could have let him a little more, in my opinion. And then CeeDee Lamb should have did a Dez Bryant and went up and got that ball for that touchdown, because
CeeDee Lamb had a mental. He had a mental midget day. That's a L. That's a L day. That was last year's early year CeeDee Lamb. I've been hard on that dude. We've been doing this pod for a while. I've been hard on that dude because he's been given chance after chance after chance, and he finally turned it on. Like halfway through the season last year, and turned it on and became one of the best wide receivers in the league. But when he checked out yesterday Sunday in the second quarter, man, I was like, man, come on, dude. But that's all wide receivers. They're all super sensitive.
Well, let's go ahead. My man called it out, Dr. Dream, and I'm not gonna
Oh
eat
yeah,
any. I'm not gonna eat any
I was
crow on
that
it.
was good.
I'm
That
not
was
gonna
my
eat.
next.
It's not really crow, but I would definitely say kudos to Gallup for turning up. And if it's crow, that's what you're calling it. I guess I'll eat it.
hey, I
Gallup,
got many
6 catches,
videos on the line when I was
six catches
recording that
for
stuff during the game,
96
and
yards.
I said, "Hello, Mr. Gallaudet. It's nice to see you." Because he is outside of Pollard, he's the only other skill position player. Well, if you want to count Lukey as a skill position player, I'll give you that. So Dak, Pollard, Lukey, Hunter. Gallup were the only people who showed up to play that day.
Yeah. So kudos to Gallup. Hey, we want to see more. I'm cool with seeing more. You feel what I'm saying?
Make
I
me
like.
happy, dude. Get
I
get
need. I
that
need.
get
I
that
need.
$13 million out there and get some damn yards and touchdowns.
Hey, I need to see some more Brandon Cooks, dog. That's what I need to be seeing. They need to get him more involved. They need to figure that out. I know they're going to him, but they need to figure out ways to get him the ball better.
Man, I
You
saw
get what I'm
I
saying?
saw I saw a lot of give up there. I saw a lot of give up there on the 22. I saw a lot of give up out of everybody on as far as literally outside of the four players I just mentioned. I saw a lot of give up out of everybody on that field on the 22. Brandon Cooks ran a real bad route that caused the pass breakup on third down. He loafed and cut his route too short, which ended up running him into Ferguson in the red zone, where he essentially picked his own player. He did not have a great day. He didn't.
Well, he did get that one touchdown. That wasn't a
I
called
I,
touchdown.
I understand that, but overall, I mean, look, the broad picture is nobody had a great day. But if we're going to talk about people who had a particularly not so good day, he's at the top of the list as far as offense goes.
Yeah, well, they need to find more ways to get him the ball. In my opinion, I don't know if it's we're not utilizing the speed. In my opinion, they need to figure out ways. If we keep on talking about the speed, but I'm not seeing vertical routes going to him. You feel what I'm saying?
There was a
So
lot of vertical routes, but it got covered up because they played right into. It's the same thing that people hated Kellen for. They played right into cover too. The the vertical routes you're running, you're dragging the safety over and you're pulling him right with you. There was no. It was either home runs or pop outs, like I've been talking about. The intermediate game basically got abandoned. There was a couple attempts there, and it worked when they came out and they were down deep in the
they should
fourth
have did
quarter,
slant
and they
passes. They were
yes.
open.
And hey, what's by the way, the West Coast offense? What's the definition of that? By the way, now since we're talking about slants and crossers and intermediate passing game and stuff like that, isn't that
That's
what
what
we
it
were supposed
is.
to? Isn't
That's
that
what
what
it
we were
is.
supposed to be?
And those slant passes were open. They didn't utilize them.
And they didn't do it. So where's this different offense I was told about?
Is that on Dak too to check out and see that?
He can't change the entire route tree. I mean,
I thought Dak was supposed to have less to do at the
line of scrimmage. I thought that was a good thing. That's what I was told. He's taking some off of Dak's plate, and it ain't Dak having to do 20 seconds audibles to fix everything. That's what I was told. It wasn't that the narrative. So where's it at? Why are you making your quarterback's job harder? You got Mike McDaniel out there. So I talked about that earlier. There's two quarterbacks in the NFL right now who have over 100 passing attempts. Dak Prescott and Tua with single digit bad throw percentage. Or overall, it's still single digit bad throw overall. There's a plenty of quarterbacks have over 100 attempts, but those two dudes. But if you look at those two offenses, do they look remotely the same?
They're totally different. I mean,
they're
that when I ain't gonna lie, when I watch Miami's offense, that Joker look exciting. He's
yeah,
always doing something. Our offense looks like
the
it's
little
like
shovel
you said.
passes and stuff like
Our
that. Yeah,
offense is always look like it always looks like. And
yeah.
I'm not coming from a voice of hate or anything like that, but it just like anytime every time we always hear about Dallas's offense being different and being juicy, even with Kellen Moore, I'm sorry. Even when we scored all those points, it was never an exciting offense to me.
Mm-mm. I mean,
It was never.
no,
That
it was.
wasn't
It,
no.
it, it
It
wasn't.
was
It
no
was still.
exciting
It was still
offense.
Cowboys football. It was still run. It was still run heavy. It's still. This is the same offense.
I
It's the
mean,
same
I
offense.
mean, we're just a run first team. I mean, we're just run. We're
People are
still run
saying.
first.
People are saying, "Oh, it's a small sample size." Well, the sample size is what I have to go off of. If it
First of all,
changes,
hold on, Mike. I'm not crying about no Kellen Moore being gone, so you won't hear me saying I want Kellen
no,
Moore back.
the divorce
You're not
needed to
hearing
happen.
me saying I'm not saying anything about Kellen Moore coming back because I don't feel like it don't matter. We would have scored all those points and still wouldn't have went nowhere. Now I don't care what he's doing over with the Chargers because they're 1-2 and they're barely winning games over there. So
He'll
it's
be
not
head
like
coach of that team next year.
I mean, he may that'd be fine. I don't think he's going to be a great head coach. I think we'll see. I don't know. I don't know about that. Maybe if he gives the full backing where they just let him do whatever, maybe there could be something different. But I ain't never going to be sitting there thinking like, oh damn, we missed Kellen Moore and that's why we ain't winning. That's not my opinion.
It's just more of the second. It's so Kellen got forced on McCarthy. The divorce needed to happen, but now the divorce happened, and McCarthy knows how the Jones boys want to see. There, people always say, "Oh, you act like Stephen Jones is in there drawing up plays." No, he's not. He's just been with his organization for 30 years, and they know what offense they want to see on the field. They don't know the X's and O's. They're not telling you split Y right, 24X, this, that, and the other. They know what they want to see on the field. And if you don't give them that, they will find somebody who will. All this hope of the new McCarthy offense,
No,
it was
it's
going to
not.
be
They're not. They're never going to do that, and you know it. So just throw that out the window. They're always going to keep the same type of individual here. That's the way it is.
yeah.
Now, I personally feel like, as I said before, this I'm not hating on the offense. You get what I'm saying? But it don't look exciting to me because I don't feel like you're utilizing your like when I look at the Miami offense, right? They
Hmm.
brought in a chain, the rookie, come out of nowhere, 208 yards. They're moving Tyreek around with Jalen Waddle. They got all kind of receivers I don't even know the hell about, and they're moving them around. It's just exciting. It's fast paced. When I see our offense, it could be more exciting if you use a Hunter Lupke more. It could be more exciting if you throw a Deuce Vaughn in there more. It
That's how
could be
down bad we
exciting.
are.
You feel me? If you can use a Turpin in certain ways, that's to me how it gets more exciting when you're trying to use it. But it's still the hut hike, Tony
Yep.
Pollard up the middle. Hut hike, Tony Pollard with a pitch. Hut hike, Dak Prescott, throwing short for a 5-yard gain. Then we'll see occasional, hit him with a long pass. But we always
Oh,
have
don't
seems
forget the
like
third down
hold on,
bootleg. They'll
hold on.
never see that
Yeah.
coming.
Well, hold on. And then it's just like we have always seem to have always a methodical long offense from me from Jason Garrett on, it's always been long, methodical drives. It was with Kellen, it was with Linehan, it's McCarthy. We have long, methodical drives, and the pressure becomes, Mike, when you have those 10, 12, 13 play drives, you gotta score a touchdown now.
Third
And
down,
if you
third down,
don't,
third down, third down.
that's why they have such a success rate because you're only getting 3 or 4 yards and then it's 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8, and then you're in the spread, you're in the shotgun 4 wide, and the defense kind of knows what you're going to do. You feel what I'm saying? But once again, you're not, in my opinion, putting in the personnel to counteract that. You get what I'm saying? Like if you got the Cooks and if you got the CD Lamb, then be tricky. Throw in something spicy in there, and I don't see that. And then also, and this is not me upset, this is just what I'm seeing. I also feel just like when it's kind of like we're whooping ass, we kind of, oh yeah, we'll throw some free flowing plays in there. We'll throw a little of this and that. But when that game get tight, all that stuff go out the window.
Circle the wagons, and now it's
We're
halfback
not
dives, baby.
now we're getting close to the vest. Now we're going to run it. We're just going to try to get this first down. You get what I'm saying? And I don't like it. Feels like the non-aggressiveness. It's like passive aggressiveness. The non-aggressiveness comes out now. Now we're close to the vest again.
You wait till the
And let's
house is
just
on fire to start running water hoses.
right. And that's the only thing that I be seeing that I don't like because it hurts the team, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to be aggressive all the time, dog. Like you have to. When I see Miami, them fools stay aggressive no matter what the damn score is.
Hey, I was out there balling. I threw
So,
an 80-yard touchdown pass on Sunday. You see that shit? Mike White was out there balling, son. They pulled their starters in the third quarter, and people was still complaining about them running up the score because they still ran their same offense because it still worked. And this dude
now,
saying, this
Tariq,
Rico Bullet, he's saying Mike doesn't trust Dak. Well, if you don't trust Dak, why are you putting your quarterback in third and
yes,
passing
he
situations?
does. It's not about him trusting. It's Mike McCarthy getting scary. It's not about him not trusting Dak.
Mike
It's him getting
McCarthy
scary. And I'm gonna keep it
saving his
real too
job.
now. Now I'm gonna keep it real too because Dak don't want to make mistakes. So sometimes he don't throw them passes. And I still see that from him.
Well, because he can't afford a mistake.
Because he knows what he knows he's gonna hear that. That's got to be in the back of his mind, dog.
Yeah, he
It
can't afford a
has to
mistake.
be. He can't
He can't
afford to
afford a
make a
mistake.
mistake because he knows
Passing
he's gonna
teams.
hear it.
Josh Allen throw 2 turnovers, they'll win by 3 touchdowns. You know why? Because they don't have 1 turnover and then like like you just got through talking about when stuff's not going exactly right and you're not playing like the other player has their controller disconnected. The first sign of trouble, it's circle the wagons, it's back to the dives, and it's all this nonsense. We saw them come out on that first drive before they went to 8 straight runs. They opened up with passing, and Dak cooked them down the field. The intermediate passing was there. That's where our intermediate showed back up. The West Coast offense, if you will. All of a sudden, this offense shows up that we could have been running the entire game. But it's too far gone. Now, all we got to talk about is the pick. When you were down, at the time of that pick, you were down 2 possessions with it versus a mobile quarterback you haven't stopped all damn day long. I think you had 2 timeouts left, and there was 5 minutes left on the clock. Come on now. Even if we punch that in, what's going to say Cardinals just going to walk right back down the field, get to at least a 40, kick a field goal, then it's still 2 possessions. Like, what do you want?
Should
You
they went
wait.
for that field goal when it was 21-13? He went for that.
I wanted them to go for it. I hated the play call. I wanted them to go for it, but I hated the play call. So it's like, it's one of those things. Oh, you wanted them to go for it because you hate coward football. But yeah, but just because I asked you to cross the intersection doesn't mean I need you to jump out in front of a concrete truck. You can wait till there's a gap, make or figure out a way to get across. It was a stupid play call, and that's what you got.
Yeah. Now let me ask you this before we kind of get off of here. What does Cowboys need to do against this defense to win this game?
Man, I think it's going to take 2 separate game plans because Bill's going to throw the kitchen sink at you. He's going to throw the kid. You're going to see 3 high safety. You're going to see cover 0. You're going to see cover 2. You're going to see single high. You're going to see all the standard ass 4-3. You're going to see standard goal line front. That dude is going to throw everything at you because that's what he knows. That dude is a defensive wizard. That's why he had to get McDaniel back with him or whoever it is now. Doesn't really matter. Defense is his thing. And that's Jalen throwing 2 picks is still one. Yeah, it was funny that Philadelphia trying to convince people they're a passing team when they had that game in the bag and then they gave it up from him throwing picks. But
they weren't losing. They weren't. Let's keep it real. They weren't
no,
losing.
they had the game in the bag. But no, I promise our quarterback can throw the ball. That dude
Right.
can't throw the ball. That dude can't throw the ball. I don't give a shit. That dude can't throw the ball.
I disagree a little bit. I'm not saying he's a world beater, but he can throw it a little bit, in my opinion. I ain't saying
Gardner.
Jalen
He's
Hurts
Gardner
is
Minshew.
Okay. Well, I mean, we're gonna see that real soon. But as far as I want to ask you a question because offensively, what do you think it's going to be Who's going to stand out offensively in this game, in your opinion, against the Patriots? Who needs to stand out? Who needs to step up? Who needs to make a big play? Who needs to be the guy in this Patriots game in on offense?
It's got to be Dak and CD Lamb.
Yeah.
They ain't got the corners for you. They
They
ain't got
got
the
that
corners for you.
Christian Gonzalez is pretty good.
And he's dinged up though.
Right, but he's still pretty good. He still might play.
Yes, he is. But I thought didn't he come out of the game this weekend?
I think he did, but I think he's available. I'm gonna look on that injury report. But I'm going to tend to agree with you that CD, but I think Brandon Cooks need to get involved in this game. We need to see a deep ball. We need to see some deepness.
We need to see some pass pros so we can get like there were several different
Jake
times.
Ferguson the whole tight ends need to step the hell up though.
I don't want to talk about Osiris Torrance. What's he doing in Buffalo right now, by the way?
Yeah.
Dude, that damn tight end. I'm not gonna go there. I'm not gonna go there. But Osiris Torrance balling, by the way. I'm just gonna put that out there.
We need to be aggressive this damn game, and because Belichick is, so we can't be cowering.
I don't see the tight ends having a big day versus him. It's got to be.
It's got to be CD like he did in that game before he got hurt. That 2021 CD game, where CD like that game where Dak kind of turned up in that game. We need to see that game from Dak and CD that we saw in 2021.
Your wide receiver one needs to be wide receiver one. You need to let your quarterback, and you can win this game. Straight up the Kirk Cousins game plan. Hey, they look like just Jefferson over there. They look like Jefferson over there. They look like Jefferson over there. Just throw it his direction. And if he wants to do that bullshit about not trying for the pass like he was trying for the flag last week when he checked out on the goal line, man, I thought we were through. With that part of Lamb. I need to see CeeDee Lamb, wide receiver one, show back up and check back into the game for a full 4 quarters.
What about Schoon over Hendershot? Would you take that right now?
I think it's a wash, and that makes me sad. That's how down I am on that pick overall. I think Ferg needs to be playing 90% of the snaps. I think they need to quit this tight end by committee situation they got going.
Yeah, and they need to figure out and settle it down and figure it out.
They keep forcing the Schoon thing. He had a bad drop last week. He had a couple bad misses and pass blocking. He's a project, just like all tight ends are when you draft them. I don't care how high you draft him. I don't care if you draft him in the 8th overall. I don't care if he's Kyle Pitts. He's still a project. It's just the nature of the position. And I feel like they're forcing him out there because they spent that capital on him and they want to make him a thing. And I'm failing to see how he's any different than the other 2 guys you got. Am I missing something?
No, but I tell you what, I know you was talking about that other guy, but it sucks that he's hurt because I think he would have had some damn value right now.
He had he had the right last name too. Jones, Stephen Jones, Tyler Jones Jr.
It don't matter. You saw that damn talent. He was a former receiver. You saw that talent, and I definitely feel like you could have used him this year.
There was some juice there, but
there was plenty of some juice.
I think that, I mean, unless I know I'm right here because that's how bad this is not me hyping a player. I'm saying that you had everything you needed in Ferguson for a tight end because there's only 2. You got Kittle, you got Kelsey, and there's everybody else, and they're all over here in some pile where they have one up week and they have one down week, and some random name pops up, and you're, I need him, and then you never see him again, and then the next week it's some random name that pops up, and you never see him again. It's the nature of the position because how hard it is to transfer to the NFL, and you spent that capital
on arguably your deepest position. He's playing 29% of the snaps. He doesn't even start, and he's your second round draft pick. Quit forcing it. It's telling you. He's showing you. It's not ready yet. Let Ferg get 85, 90% of that burn, and let them other dudes figure it out. If you need to go jumbo, if you want to go 13 or whatever,
Because
drag
Ferguson
one of
needs
them
to
out.
get comfortable.
Yeah,
Ferguson needs to get comfortable being that number one tight end and working him like you work Dalton Schultz.
because
Because
the
because
tight end,
they're moving them in and out with these other
yes,
guys. Because like you said with
fuck,
Schoonmaker, they're trying to get Schoonmaker because he's a second round pick, and I think it's taken away from Ferguson, his concentration, his game, because he's getting rotated in and out with these other guys. They need to
he
just
can't get
play.
going. He can't.
Yeah,
It's
he
just
can't get
fucking.
going. They need to play him and just play him and stop worrying about this damn Schoonmaker thing. Play him like you play Dalton Schultz, and let him burn.
Yeah, he's your second round pick. He's going to be on your team for another 3 years. He is. All right, unless you cut him, obviously, but contractually wise, he should be on your team another 3 years. Let him figure it out. You need to win on Sunday. You don't need to learn on the job on Sunday. And Ferguson is ready to rock. He spent thousands of hours at this point with Dak in the Dak yard, working one on one. Went to Florida, went to Atlanta, went to California. They went to Montana. All these, like, let him be the tight end one and settle into a damn groove. And if he can't do it, you got your guy from the second round over here on the back burner and shove him out there. But let him prove to you he can't do it first. And if he can do it, guess what happens? Somebody's going to pay that dude. And you're going to get at minimum, a fifth round comp pick out of him. All right. What, like, I, it seems so simple to me, and it's frustrating that they're forcing this second round pick out there when he's not. He had a bad drop. He doesn't have the muscle yet either. Like he had a couple
He's
decent
trying,
blocks.
but he's not strong enough. But
He
he is
had a
trying.
couple. He had a couple decent blocks downfield when he's in motion and guys are in
But
motion.
he
But
can't
it's,
one on
it,
one. He's
mm-mm,
struggling.
mm-mm.
He's
No
struggling. I've
sir,
seen him go
no
against a
sir.
few. He's struggling.
That's
His
let
base is not there.
let my man Jen Rummy get some damn burn. Let him get 90% of the snaps, tight end one, and see what happens. And if that burns me, hand on my heart, I'll own it. But I promise you it won't, because that is the tight end position in the NFL. You have Kelsey, you have Kittle, and then all these other guys. Even Mark Andrews, who's supposed to be on their level, is a constant hurt guy, and this, that, and the other. And you get these random names. It's two guys. There's when there's like what 10, 12 quarterbacks you take. That's the hardest position in the NFL, and the guy shows absolute promise. He's good in run blocking. He's good in pass blocking. He can catch the ball outside of when they played at that monsoon in week one, which he had a damn good bounce back in week two. Let my man get some burn.
Yeah. Well, I totally agree with you that. Now, I want to ask you a couple more things before we head off of here. My
Yes, sir.
peculiar thing, and we had been talking about this. Tyron Smith was a healthy scratch. Now, Tyler Smith was
Healthy.
okay, you know what I mean. Tyler Smith was an animal at that left guard. No pressures. He totally dominated that left guard position. But why did they have Emo Adoga at left tackle when Tyler Smith can play left tackle in a pinch? And Adoga had been doing well at left guard. Why did you
But
not
ties
do
back.
that? Why
It
did you
ties
not do
back.
that?
It ties back to the Jones thing, man. Ties back from the call coming inside the house. It's that all encompassing thing. Tyron Smith is the left tackle. We want Tyler to be the left guard. There's still that infinite faith they have in Tyron Smith. Listen, I love Tyler Smith. The man was literally a created player to be a left tackle, offensive tackle in the league. Like you took all the sliders and took them all the way to the right. He is exactly what you want. He's busted, man. He's busted. And it ties back to when we drafted Tyler Smith. They still have a first round pick they don't have a plan for. They play him at left guard, they play him at left tackle. They're just trying to avoid the inevitable when that's why, in theory, they drafted him in the first place, was to take over that mantle. And then Adoba's out there getting absolutely shit whipped, which is getting your quarterback killed, and you give him no help. Another L on McCarthy for that day. That looked like the 2017 Atlanta game. The only reason it wasn't 2017 Atlanta game is because Dak's mental processing, pre-snap, and all that is so much better than it was then because natural progression. So he didn't come out of that game with the yips beat into him. That was the Chaz Green game set up on a tee. If Dak didn't do something about it, and they did nothing, they did absolutely nothing package wise to help him out. All Dak can work with is what he's given on the field. He can't substitute guys out and that sort of situation. I cannot understand it for the life of me what the game plan was there when it was clear by not even the second quarter that he needed help, and they did nothing at all to help him. He was, and not only is he a backup, he's also hurt. He busted his elbow in the game before. So he's playing out there, left tackle, with a busted left elbow.
And he already had the hyperextended knee. I mean, and
Yeah.
he had that issue the week one, and you put him at left tackle when you know he can't cover those edges. He's too tight in those hips. Those
Yeah.
the guys that are tight in the hips, they got to play guard because
So imagine you got a chicken wing and you got tight hips and you're supposed to play left tackle versus a speed rush. Come on now. Come on now.
Is that the offensive lineman coach too with that?
That's everybody. Any defensive coordinator, special teams, offensive assistant tight end coach, that's on everybody. That you didn't
Are they
speak
going to
up.
do it? Are they going to do it again this week if it happens?
They fucking better not. They better not.
I hope they don't because I don't get that. Like that don't make no sense. Just like you said, that's got to be the Joneses, and I would agree with you with that saying, well, no, because we had Tyler Smith at left tackle, and now Tyron's back, so that's the position he's gonna play because Tyron's here and he's playing good. So
Like
as
when they
long as
forced
he's
Lael
here,
Collins back on him.
yeah, he's got to stay here at guard because Tyron Smith is the tackle. We can't move him out here because Tyron Smith is the tackle. No, you can't tell me that Tyler Smith kicked out at that left tackle wouldn't have played inordinately better than Idoga at left tackle the way he played at left guard. You don't think he doesn't have the ability to kick out just like that and play left tackle and be just as dominant? How
Where
we not think?
he should have been
How we
playing there since day 2 of the draft, dude. Like,
you feel me? And we're gonna and here's the problem, and here's the issue with it, Mike, because Tyron Smith is playing well in those first couple games. Now it messes that up because as long as the Joneses see, oh well, he's playing good though. He just got to get better. They're gonna keep Tyler Smith there. And
because
I
they walk down
wonder,
there and they see that 6'6", 315 Adonis
Sitting there, it's like, oh, look at you. You're in your prime. They don't matter what's on
the inside's all busted. My man's just had like 20 some odd surgeries, like 10 of them on his back. Like, he's been in the league. He's been in the league for 20 years.
he got drafted at like barely 19 years old. He's used up, man.
And it's frustrating because when you look at Tony Pollard's run chart, not only did they have a bad offensive line on the left side that night because Nova, they ran like 65, 70% of their runs to the left side.
and he was struggling.
So what are we doing here, McCarthy? It's your offense, right?
But hell,
It's your
I'm saying, but you had Bass on the other side and Hoffman. That was a sticky day, dog, because you had 3 interiors. Well, you had 2
that right
interiors.
side wasn't getting their ass whipped up that left side. That left edge was getting his ass
You
whipped.
right.
That right edge
Okay,
wasn't.
but Tyron still had 2 false starts, had a few pressures, and he's still kind of lacking in the pass pro. That's
Well,
true.
hey, maybe
That's
because he's
true.
making up. Maybe because he's making up for that absolute jag that stuck out beside him. Just like when
Could
people
be.
hated Zach Martin when he was picking up for loose ends over there for Lyle Collins.
Yeah.
But this is going to be back to the main point for the signing off. If we want this New England thing, man, it's Bill. If they figure out Bill, they'll be okay. I just I'm just so worried, man. We're dropping like flies, and I know that you rather have injuries at the first of the year than the end of the year, like we've always had. But what I'm worried about is these injuries at the first of the year are still going to be injuries at the end of the year because we haven't had a year without injuries at the end of the year at crucial spots, and that bothers me. Um, it bothers me that what I've seen from this offense, even when we were winning, all people say, "Well, we were up by 2 possessions. That's why they were running like that." Okay, well, I gave you that grace. Well, then they were down 2 possessions and they were still doing the same dumb shit. So now it's a small sample size. I can't take anything from that. You can't have it both ways. What is it? Is this the same offense that we've seen the last 25 years? Because it looks the same to me, dude. Looks the same to me. Still run heavy, regardless of your personnel. Still going to hand them that rock. Still going to man on man. I I don't know, man. It's I'm really disappointed. Like I didn't care that we lost that game. I'm just disappointed. Even if we won that game, if we had won that game with the offense we were running, I would still feel this way because how we were promised all this change. Where's it at? I haven't seen it. Unless I'm not imagining stuff, am I? I mean, we all watch the same games. I watched the 22 over. You watched the 22 over. What'd you see? It looked like the same stuff you've seen the last years.
Yeah, like I said, it seems like the same. I don't want to say same boring offense. I don't want to be just rude like that, but it just seems
But
like it's boring. This feels like it's same boring. Just feel like we don't have really explosive. We don't never really have an explosive offense. We might have explosive play here and there, but it ain't explosive. It's just like I said. It's long drives. It's the same long drives. That's the main thing I notice about our team is we can't score like it seems like we can't score in 2-3 plays. We can't just you know we can't just put the pressure right on you instantly. It's methodical long drives. That's the thing
yeah,
that sticks out to me about this offense and previous offenses. They're always long methodical drives. And
they said,
once we have a 10 or 11 12 play drive, the pressure is on now to score that touchdown because you just did a 12-13 play drive. You got to score a touchdown now because you took 5, 6, 7 minutes off the clock, right? And we've seen this time and time again that we'll take a 13 play drive down, right, Mike? Kick a field goal. Defense will come on the field. That team will score in 3 plays. Then we got to go all the way back down the field and take the clock all the way down again just to score a possible
"Hey,
touchdown.
but you kept
And that's
your
been a
defense
problem.
off the field, right? That's the main. You know what I mean? That's and this dude's talking about Phillies. Trey's talking about Phillies a run heavy team. If you watch football and you think that Philadelphia or San Francisco run the same way that Dallas does, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah,
It's not even the same offense. And by the way, for some odd reason, they've always had fantastic health on their offensive line,
I don't know
and
how that happens.
their offensive line always plays sound because once again they've always had their health.
Philly's got a damn good
The
offensive
way that
line, dog.
Philly and San Francisco feel like they've had the 2016 Dallas, this offensive line that people pretend Dak has had his entire career.
Philly and San Francisco have had that 2016 offensive line for like what feels like 8 years now. They can do whatever they want. And by the way, they run basically the same offense. It's all the Shanahan tree, little adjusted for inflation here or there. If you watch these games and you say the Phillies run heavy and Dallas is run heavy, why aren't they doing the same thing? I don't know what to tell you. Those are two totally different offenses. They're not in the same planet as far as their run scheme design. They got wide receiver handoffs going up the middle off misdirection. They got jet sweeps they got the tight end shovel passes. They got all that stuff. It's Tony Pollard up the middle on a halfback dive. All runs are not created equal.
It's basic. I'm not, like I said, I don't want to look like the negative person, but that's just the thing I've seen for a long, long time. And that's the thing that sticks out to me with this offense is that it's not quick strike. I never see quick strikes with this team. I never see this team
we're in the mud.
Until we're losing.
Okay, Dad, put your cape on.
And when we're down 10 or 14 points, then all of a sudden we throwing the ball, we getting down the ball down the field. I'm like, so why don't they do that all game? Why don't you stay aggressive like that from the very rip? It's like you're conservative in your head, like we just got to score, maybe get a lead, and then we'll do this. But let's kind of be conservative. Why aren't you? It's almost like, I don't know. It's like, it's okay to come out if you come a 3 and out, like you went aggressive throwing the ball. Okay, because if you're saying you got this great defense, right, you should be able to be aggressive all the time. If you say you got this
survive
defense,
a turnover,
right? If you're saying you have this defense, right, Mike, and you got this dog's defense, you should be able to be aggressive on offense and be able to throw all out and have all stops on offense because you got a good defense that can come back and make plays. There got to be, and I hate to say this because I thought there was better trust, but I don't know if there's trust going on. I don't know, but
they treat Jack like he's they treat Jack like he's a rookie, and they have his entire career, despite all the metrics that prove otherwise. There is no other quarterback in his EPA tier that gets handed nothing but third down to work with. All these other guys get free play. They get first down passes. They get second down passes. They get play designs to help them out. Why is my dude got to play on hard mode? And yes, I'm a well-admitted Dak stan because I'm telling you, there is not 5 quarterbacks better in the league right now. There's not. Try to name them. You get real sticky mouth when you get to number 4. And we treat this dude like he can't throw the ball. Well, all the numbers back up otherwise. A quarterback with his consistency and his success rate on third down, the obvious passing down, third and long for his career, should not be treated like he's college Jalen Hurts. He should be able to let it rip and put points on the board, man. And then now we're focusing on, like I was talking about, that we're focusing on that pick at the end of the game. Meanwhile, the game was sealed up 5 minutes ago when the defense blew that coverage. Uh-oh. I lose you? Uh-oh. Looks like it's just me. Yeah, it's disappointing because the red zone was the one thing that we're good. You good, Bubba?
Yeah. My internet froze a little bit, so you froze. I was like sitting there just trying to figure it out.
Somebody turn the microwave on.
I was like, yeah, buddy. I was just sitting there like, should I end it? Because it's circling right now. This is circling. Should I just end it? But I was like,
I was on my own for a second. I was
I know.
ribbon dancing.
But that must just be the call to say it is over. So, what's your
Yeah,
thoughts
that's.
about the game? Do the Cowboys win?
I think it's gonna be a tough one, man. Because I think we're gonna.
It's gonna be tough.
Because Bill's gonna throw some shit at you that I don't think Mike McCarthy's ready for. And I once again, I'll put it down right now. If Dak doesn't ball out on third down, we go home. Prove me otherwise. Show me this new look West Coast offense that I was promised. Show me this. Show me show me you making the quarterback's job easier. Because all I heard was Kellen wants to light up the scoreboard and I'm here to win games. Meanwhile, we were back to back 12-win seasons with efficient red zone offense. So
Well, I ain't missing them. So, we're gonna see.
the divorce needed to happen. I'm not saying that. The divorce needed to happen, but the chances of regression when you move on from a top five offense versus that little percentage of increase, let's see it. Hey, let's go do it. Let's go do it versus Mustard Tiger. You want to be OC? Let's go do it versus Bill. Let's go do it.
This is a great test for you right now and this week and this game. I think the Cowboys pull out a close one. I think it's like a 21-17 game, and will prevail. But it's gonna be a tough one. Like it's gonna be tough. Like it's gonna be. We're gonna be mad and upset. We're gonna be mad and frustrated. We're gonna be mad and frustrated for a little bit because it's gonna be that type of game.
Oh, we're gonna need old tech support this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Geek Squad. We're gonna need Geek Squad this weekend. Geek Squad, you need to pull through for us, buddy. We need you.
Yeah.
You've been solid. You've been solid since that first shank. We need you to keep being solid. We're gonna need you.
Telling you, that's my guy Mike White. That is, he said, "Who's the co-host tagline?" I agree with him. It's Mike White. Not to be trite, you can follow him on Twitter right there. Just look at that hashtag right there. If you're on
Yes,
Twitter,
sir.
look at that right there, and you can follow him. And great follow on Twitter because that's a great cue for us to get on out of here because I'm getting hungry.
Yeah.
But
I
I
got some
appreciate
food.
you. You feel me? I appreciate you, big dog. Great talk
Yes, sir.
today. Great talk. We got to see some film. I think we'll do that a little more, especially when we can watch this Patriots game. We'll pull up some stuff and we'll be able to look at it. But a great show today. Appreciate everybody in the building. Make sure you hit that like button on all the way out on Facebook, on Twitter, or on the YouTube page. Love the crowd. Thank you for all the good conversation in the chat. We really love you. Really appreciate you for supporting Burgers and Blitzes. Another one down. It's going to be an interesting game here against New England. Interesting game. It's going to be a lot to talk about. And me and you in particular are going to be looking at this offense to see, is it going to be the same thing? Is it going to be
Show me
tightness?
something different.
Yeah.
Show me something different.
Is it going to be the tightness? That's what I'm going to see. Not just the offense, but is it going to be the tightness when Bill Belichick is throwing this defense on you that you can't deal with? Is it going to be the tightness? And that's the thing that's going to look out for me, in my opinion. Appreciate everybody in the building. Love all y'all. We'll be talking to you soon. My dog, Mike White, Burgers and Blitzes. We'll be talking to you next week.
Thank y'all. Thank y'all for coming by. Peace, Bubba.
Peace. We out.